This is my slightly over-engineered solution to a surprisingly annoying problem. An electric garage door opener is convenient, but with the remote in my pocket, I sometimes open the door by accident. To fix this, I want to mount the controller on the wall near the main entrance. But just hanging the remote by the door wouldn't look very nice. And since the remote has 4 buttons, with only one actually being used, it makes much more sense to have a single large button that looks more like a normal house switch. I don't want to disassemble the remote or risk ruining it. So instead, the plan is to design an enclosure that looks more like a regular light switch, with a simple mechanism inside that presses the correct button on the controller. I also have a second remote sitting in one of the compartments between the seats in my car. For that one, I'll design a similar enclosure that matches the car interior and mounts neatly on the dashboard for easy access. The first thing I made was a simple inner enclosure to hold the controller securely in place. It took a few test prints and some small spacers on the sides to get the controller sitting perfectly flat. Once the cover is mounted, the controller is completely locked in place and unable to move. With that done, I had a solid base to work from and everything else could be designed around it. I started modeling a custom outer frame and the button itself. The controller was positioned so the button we need to press sits exactly in the center of the case. To make battery changes easy, small clips were added on the sides, strong enough to hold everything in place, but flexible enough to pull off when needed. The first prototype looked promising, but it had a couple of issues. First, the button didn't slide very smoothly. Because of the print orientation, the lay lines were running in the same direction for both parts, which caused quite a bit of friction. To fix that, I decided to reprint the enclosure standing upright instead. I hadn't modeled any mechanism for the button to spring back after being released, so to fix that, I decided to add some springs to the design. For that, I had to sacrifice 4 ballpoint pens and add some slots for the springs. With the updated design printed, it was time for another test fit. The springs worked perfectly and pushed the button back out, but now the side clips weren't strong enough to hold the front part in place. To fix that, I widened the clips and made them slightly thicker to stiffen them up. With those changes in place and the button now working exactly as intended, I could focus on making it look a bit nicer. I initially tried importing an SVG image into Fusion and extruding it, but the generated paths weren't great. So instead, I modeled the design manually based on a reference image. I added the design to the front button and printed it using 8 colors with my 2 AMS units. I also swapped out the texture pay plate for the SuperTac plate, which has a much smoother surface. That gives the button a cleaner overall look. Before moving on to the enclosure for the car remote, I mounted the wall unit in place, fastened the controller and snapped the front button on. I think it looks great, and more importantly, opening and closing the garage door now works exactly as it should. Once the wall-mounted controller was finished, I moved on to designing a matching enclosure for the one in the car. The card version turned out to be much harder to design, mostly because of the size. I decided to mount it on the air vent, so I designed a small 2-part bracket to hold it in place. One part slides in from the side and pulls the enclosure tightly against the vent. With the bracket more or less sorted, I started designing the enclosure itself. I added the inner frame to hold the controller and built a small outer frame with clips around it, similar to the one used inside the house. Instead of having the entire front move, I designed a small circular button held in place by a small clip on the inside. For the front, I used a similar design to the wall-mounted enclosure. It clicked into place nicely, but the button didn't function properly. When test fitting the enclosure inside the car, I realized I had made it slightly too tall. The colors I used were a bit too flashy, and once I saw it in the car, it didn't really match the interior. So I went back to make some changes. In this version, the height is reduced, and I added a couple of chamfers on the back to improve the fit. I also adjusted the inner frame to give the clips a bit more room. To make the look more subtle, I switched to a dark sapphire blue for the sky, which helped tone the whole design down and made it fit the car interior much better. Which one do you like more, the flashy one or this more toned down version? For this enclosure I used PLA again. It's not the ideal material for something inside the car, but since it's winter it won't soften or deform anytime soon. Long term though, I'll probably reprint it in PETG or ABS. The challenge is that most PETG filaments I've tried so far are very glossy and I don't really like how that looks. So if you have any recommendations for a good brand of PETG that has a more matte finish, feel free to leave a comment below. The last thing left was mounting it in the car. After a few small adjustments to the bracket, everything fit nicely, and I locked it in place with 2 small screws. With the controller secured, the final step was snapping on the front panel. I'm really happy with how it turned out, and the button works exactly as it should. While working on this, I realized that it might be fun to take things a little bit further and build a small controller that lets me open and close the garage door from my phone. That should be doable with an ESP32, but it would be a very different kind of project. If that still sounds interesting, let me know in the comments and I might turn that into a video as well. So with that, hopefully I won't find my garage door open the next time I step outside, unless I actually want it to be. I'll put the STL files on my Patreon page if anyone is interested. And a big thank you to everyone supporting me on Patreon. It helps cover some of the material cost and makes projects like this one possible. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you'd like to see more slightly over-engineered projects like this. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.